Good evening, everyone. Our next session is Global Lens, Young Scholars on World Literature and Cinema. If we look back through history, literature and cinema have always been mirrors of human civilization. Literature preserved voices when they were at risk of being forgotten, while cinema gave those voices motion, color, and emotion. Together, they have chronicled wars, revolutions, dreams, and the silent struggles of people across cultures.
As we reflect on this journey of literature and cinema, we see how words and poets have used their words to mirror the society we live in. For instance, some poet uses pause, listen, and find meaning in the whispers of nature. They remind us that every road we take shapes who we become, whereas some represents voice of a generation. And with that, we would like to continue our session with our moderator and four brilliant young scholars who bring fresh insights and bold perspective. Our moderator, Surbhi Thanki, who holds a master's degree in literature and is a content head for TEDx Prahalad Nagar. Our first speaker, Vannasiri. We are deeply honored to welcome Vannasiri, a distinguished Buddhist scholar from Myanmar, known for his profound academic contributions to monastic training and Buddhist philosophy.
Next, we have Mr. Saifulla Rahimi, a visionary researcher from Afghanistan and PhD scholar at Gujarat University. Now, I would like to invite James Kadadzera from Africa, a distinguished researcher in political science and international relations, whose work bridges global diplomacy and the power of media in shaping societies. And the last, we have Hanna Haydari. She is a Brazilian-Iranian scholar and practitioner of Ayurveda and Vedic sciences, dedicated to sharing traditional Indian health wisdom with the world.
Before beginning the session, I would like to mention that, as the poster says, Shivika Vishwakarma was supposed to be moderating this session, but unfortunately she is sick. So I will be, conducting the session, and I apologize if I misspeak your names and if I misspeak any questions. But yes, okay. So when we talk about cinema and literature, in the previous session we talked about how literature is it does not stay in isolation. It's not isolated. It's not a corpus of writing, as Dr. Manali mentioned, right? It proliferates through several mediums. And today we'll be talking about what happens when words and screens come together. So my first question goes to Wen. Sorry. Right. So my question to you is, how do cultural values and traditions shape the different styles in which stories are told in different literatures and cinemas around the world?
Namaskar, everyone. Thank you for your question. So, I'm from Myanmar. My name is Vannasiri. I study philosophy under the philosophy department, PhD student. So my answer is come from India Buddhist literature perspective. India literature, especially Buddhist literature, influenced so many Buddhist countries. So not only story, but also a culture influenced a Buddhist country. So there are three main Buddhist traditions. One is Theravada, belong to 5 countries: Thailand, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, etc. So another one is Mahayana country, belong to China, Vietnam, Japan, Taiwan. Another tradition is Tibetan tradition belong to Bhutan, Mongolia, and Tibet. So, in the daily life in Buddhist country, when we look up closely, we will see they are continuously using Indian culture in Indian ritual. So many ceremony in festival influenced by Indian literature. Indian literature. This is my indirectly given answer. Thank you so much.
That was very well said. I think we can agree that it's not just culture that influences literature, but literature that also influences culture and tradition. So thank you for answering that. My next question goes to Saifulla. So can literature and cinema preserve cultural memory? If yes, how do they differ in doing so?
Hello everyone. I am Saifulla Rahimi from Afghanistan, currently pursuing my PhD in Department of Computer Science, Gujarat University. I'm an ICCR scholar. About your question, yeah. About your question, literature and cinema both preserve the cultural memories, but in different way. Literature preserve the cultural memories in written format of the in the papers, while the cinema brought in life into and projected on the screen. So yeah, they both work together, and they are important to each other. So yeah, they preserve the memories in different ways. Yeah, thank you.
That was a very lovely way to look at it. Thank you so much, Saifulla. My next question is to James. So how do writers and filmmakers balance authenticity with universality when portraying their own cultures for a global audience?
Again, the question?
Right. So how do writers and filmmakers balance their authenticity while, while still trying to make it universal when portraying their own culture globally?
Thank you very much. My name is James Kadadzera. I am from Malawi, Central Africa. I am at Gujarat University pursuing a doctorate in political science. Yeah, so what we see in films, what we see in books, that's literature actually represent what happens globally. When we are exposed to literature, this experience help us understand human experience. What happens here in India, we may see that the very same also happens in Africa. The very same may also happen in the Western countries. Here I'm talking of issues that we reflect in literature, issues to do with emotions, issues to do with struggles, issues to do with joy. Yeah, all these themes, we see them in literature. We may see them in Indian literature. The same may be also interpreted in African literature, may be also interpreted in the literature from the West. So what we see in literature, we can actually understand and also apply in our various perspectives. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because no matter how different cultural stories are, emotion is always the universal link that underscores all literature, right? Thank you for so much. That was answered very beautifully. My next question goes to Hanna. So my question is, do translations or subtitles dilute or transform the cultural essence of a work?
Hi, I'm Hanna. I'm a student of Ayurveda Medicine and Surgery in Jamnagar. The institute is called ITRA, and I'm a practitioner of Jyotish as well. I'm not so highly as my peers here today. They are all pursuing PhD already, MD, and I'm still doing my bachelor's. I am a daughter of a Brazilian mother and an Iranian father. And I have had come to India, it's been 10 years already. When I came, I didn't know Sanskrit, I didn't know Hindi, I didn't know English. But I thought that studying Sanskrit would help me to get closer to the core of the Ayurveda and the Jyotisha and even Bhagavad Gita for this matter. But no one studies Sanskrit to read the Bhagavad Gita nowadays. And still everyone knows the Bhagavad Gita, everyone knows the Mahabharata. Who here has read the Mahabharata in Sanskrit? No one. And did you lose its meaning, its cultural reference? No. So I think that it goes so much about how a person is feeling connected to that. How would a person, Mem was telling here earlier, she's like, how much a person is curious to look for it. Like, okay, I don't know, so I'll look for it. We have Google and ChatGPT in our hands right now. Like, oh, what's this, right? So I think it has a lot to do about how you are curious and connected to that literature or that cinema. I think I would answer, 10 years ago, I would have answered differently this question. I would say, of course, you lost half of it. But I think I see it in a different way. If someone took the effort to meticulously translate it for you, they're qualified enough. And they'll try to bring it in the most close possible to us. And I see that the translations, they're actually a nice opportunity that we have nowadays to get in touch as much as we can with certain culture. For example, I don't know if you guys here heard about Murakami, Haruki Murakami, right? So he writes it in Japanese, and it's translated all worldwide in English. But you feel that you are in Tokyo when you're reading that, right? So I think that that's of course, credits to the translators and to the curious readers as well.
That was very well answered, because when I talk about myself, my favorite author is from a Vietnamese origin, and if I talk about one of my favorite shows at the moment, it was made in Korean, right? So that way it also increases global unity, where because a lot of our favorite books wouldn't exist if translations didn't happen, right? We have, I think somebody mentioned The Alchemist yesterday. We wouldn't be able to, for it to be our favorite books if we didn't have translations. So very well answered. Thank you so much. My next question is to Vannasiri again. So how does reading or watching or consuming cinema from other cultures change your understanding of your own history?
Thank you for your question. This question is related to modern present situation. So in order to persuade the modern people, so we need to use a movie, we need to present by creating movie in order to give the information what we need to give. So not only culture but also religions, we also need to present by creating movie. For the Buddhist perspective, what I remember is a Buddhist country, they worry to create the movie of the Buddha. Because they pay respect too much to Buddha. That's why they don't want to generate the movie of the Buddha. So, but on the other hand, we need to show the movie about the Buddha. So, in order to fulfill this movie gap, where come from? When I look at this movie gap, actually come from India. So, India produced the movie about the Buddha, about the Dharma, about the Buddhist society. So, after they watching these movie originally from India, they really respect and they really devotion to the Buddha. So, sometimes when you look at the media and journal, you will see ordinary lay people, even monks, they really pay respect the creator of a Buddha movie, especially actor, actress. So my conclusion is creating movie is really, really important to get message for modern world. Thank you for your question.
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. This was an important question. Yeah, so I just wanted to add that literature from other cultures help in self-reflection. Yeah, I wanted to add this point of self-reflection because when you, for example, go through or read this book, popular book, Animal Farm, politically, politicians will see what was happening in this book, Animal Farm, and they will reflect on themselves that no, the way to govern democratically, it has to be like this. Because they have seen, they have read, they have studied it in this book, Animal Farm, from Britain, but that can be used for self-reflection and improve in their democratic governance in their respective countries. Thank you.
That is a very nice thing to point out. Another interesting fact is that George Orwell, the writer of Animal Farm, was born in India and then he moved to Britain. Yeah.
Well, I want to add also, while watching and reading the stories from other cultures, sometimes makes realize to appreciate our cultures more, because if we see in Indian cinema, the stories and films are about the emotion, family bond, and morality. While we see in I'm from Afghan cultures, it's about the storytelling, and the films are about shaped by faith and resilience and showing the daily survival of the under cruelty and violence. While if we see the films or stories from Hollywood or from European countries, it's about individualism and it's about the getting independent, and it's like when you're getting at the age 18 you're separating from family. Being in Asia, when we see that when we want to meet our family, we need to approval or invitation, it makes realize our culture and our value of culture more, and we respect our culture more.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to point out as well, that looking at other cultures is how we come to respect our culture as well. And there is a very visible shift when it comes to what the West talks about, and then when you come to the East and what kind of problems or scenarios are being portrayed in the Eastern cinema versus in the Western cinema, right? Would you like to add something to that answer?
I usually, whenever someone mentions the cinema, the Brazilian movies, everyone thinks, not everyone who watches the movies, but anyone who thinks about Brazil, they think about poverty. Our cinema does it very well to show our poverty, and it's not a poor country. I'm not talking in terms of Amazon and the biggest forest in the world and seas. No, I'm saying it's not a developed country as we going as other North American countries. But I think that some of this, and I'm bringing a lot of controversies today, sorry, but like a lot of these cinemas, they just touch so much on the stereotype, forgetting that we are just people that live like any other person in the world, you know? So that's what the movies in India, they do a lot. It's very stereotypical, right? Forgetting that sometimes it's not like that. I know many families and many households who do not live like the movies, right? And vice versa. Sometimes the movies also show something else. And that's something that made me very upset when I realized that we cannot just dance in India. I was in my class and I was thinking about song, and then I started dancing to the song, right? And it was a Bollywood movie, Bollywood song. And my friend just she held me. He's like, Chup. And I say, why? Like, you do it in movies. So that's why I say in vice versa, because sometimes it happens and it's allowed in the movies, in certain countries, and sometimes it's, has nothing to do with that. And then I will give another example in Iranian cinema. In Iranian cinema, everyone is covered, and you cannot, the girls never show, they show this much of their hands, and like maybe a little bit of their hair with some dupatta in the top, but that's it, right? And it's not true. In the streets, we don't wear anything, like we don't cover our heads anymore, right? I can literally just go in the streets in the way that I am right now. So, but the cinema will portray to you that is a extreme religious, and the women are extremely obedient, and the women are just amazing and powerful as Indian women. Actually, I think in Iran, we do have the highest rate of literate women in the world. Most of the Iranian women are graduated. And you don't talk about that. You don't think about that. Especially if you see the cinema. Not that they seem uneducated, but they seem suppressed. And it's very sad. I mean, I have this view because I don't live in Iran, and I grew up watching these movies, and I was like, my aunt she's not like this lady, right? And I'm also talking about post-Islamic revolution in Iran. Before, I think one of the questions is going to be like around this topic, but before it was different, and according to time periods, it's changed the cinema, right? And we can have like exactly historically wise, right? How it's shaping it. Yeah. And it's very interesting as well.
Yeah, and that is how we shape perceptions of cultures as well, because so on Instagram, I have a page, and this very lovely girl asked me, I love the way you create your designs, what do you use? And then she asked me where you're from, and I said India, and she was like, I have always wondered what Indian people look like. Yeah, so I mean, it's very obvious that we look like people, but but yeah, so that's what it does. That's what negative stereotyping does to, to especially cultures that are not associated with the West. Right? So that was lovely answers by everybody. My next question would be to all of you, and sadly because we're running out of time, we would take I would ask you one last question, and then we could open the floor to the audience. So my next question to all of you would follow the theme of what we talked about here. Is that our global audiences that are reading or watching, Eastern cinema or like cultures that are not very popular around the world, do you think they are drawn to certain exotic depictions of culture rather than the authentic ones? Because you mentioned, right, that Iranian women are not, weak and they don't cover themselves, and the reality is quite often very different. But do you think global audiences are more drawn to the exotic depiction, the very imperial depiction that we have in literature and cinema? Any of you can take it.
I feel personally that is exactly what's going on. People watch Indian movies just because of the dance and just because of the choli, kipiche, because all of these kind of things that goes on in Indian cinema, right? When I was a child, I liked a lot Indian music and cinema, especially because of the dances and because of the colors. So I believe that, yes, this is my point of view.
Yeah, definitely the global audience drawn more likely to different themes and exotic stories. But the point is that if we want that the cinema and literature go forward, it should be based more on authenticity and specificity, and it should be based on emotional honesty, because the things drawn so fast they can go away. So the perfect, I think, success is when the audience comes from fictionalism to empathy, because literature and cinema cross the borders through humanity, and human are connected through emotion. So the thing that connect us is the pain, our hope, our fear, our dreams. When sometimes when we watch a movie or films, or when we read a novel, we forget where it came from. The main thing, it touch your heart. You like the story, that's it. You don't really care from which country it comes. There was lots of films like the Mother India. It's showing the, I think, I have seen, because Bollywood movies also so much famous in Afghanistan. So it's showing the struggles, and also the sacrifices also of post-India, rural India. The movie named Osama from 2003. He is showcasing the girl lifestyle that these kids like bike to feed their family. So it's the films, that stories that touch people across the borders. Even if we see the modern film like the RRR, it's a phenomenon viral across world. It uses the local rhythm, the dance, the energy. Still is around the world. So the point is based on the how story is honest, how story is presented, and how characters are played. When the story is good, the authenticity is great, it will touch no matter what it is. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Emotional authenticity is a phrase I'll be taking home from this conversation.
Yeah, let me just add or stress on fostering cultural understanding, cross-cultural understanding. The films, the books that we read, poetry, they actually foster cross-cultural understanding. We see how things are done in India, and we start comparing and contrasting with the way we do it ourselves, with the way others do it. So they actually, the films, music, the books that we read, literature and cinema actually foster cross-cultural understanding. I just wanted to add on that.
That was very well put. Thank you so much. All right. We only have time for one question from the audience. So if anyone has a question, we can take one.
Hello, I just want to add one line that songs, music are part of Indian cinema, but Indian cinema is beyond music. For example, there are movies like 12th Fail, Lunchbox, Masan, Article 15, and many more movies are coming up, which are of content-driven stories. So I would definitely suggest and recommend these movies. You should watch them, and then you will realize that Indian movies are beyond songs. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there was a question in the back. Yes,
During the conversation, I was wondering one thing, that a lot of you stated a lot of positives of cultural exchange through movies and everything. Do you think there are any downsides, maybe scope of stereotyping or something?
I think I mentioned that also, right?
Oh, probably I was late
Oh,
and I
really?
missed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we
I'm so
actually
sorry,
talked
my
about
bad.
that. Yeah, I think that, for example, ma'am now she just said something which is out of the stereotype, and I think it's very important. But I think that it's also like out of the stream somehow, because the Indian people are watching. Yeah, people are watching, which is good. It's very good that people are watching. But I mean, out of the stereotype, let's say. So out of the stereotype, out of like what people from other countries they would actually look for, you know? That's what I feel. I personally love this documentary. I think that it was the Kashmiri Files, something like that. It was very, it changed my life watching that. So I think that of course we have to have more of that, but I think only American cinema and European cinema does it very well. Everyone else is just doing what is going to sell, right? So I think that if they start doing something else totally in India, it's going to take some time for the public to develop that taste, be it in, like local or international. What do you think?
Well, I think India has already started that decade ago with a lot of mainstream movies, a lot of vernacular movies as well. But what my question was, it was beyond Bollywood, beyond Indian cinema. It was for every culture that has that thing in them to make cinema and put their culture across. My question was translating it or maybe transliterating that thing. Do you think it's limiting in some ways? Because when the language changes, a lot of context has to be changed because it's just not the language. Entire group of people, they follow different culture, different values. So sometimes certain things are also tweaked a little for the relatability to be there.
Yes, I think I believe it's not, it does not make limited, it makes it wider. Because, yeah, it's correct that when we transcribe or translate a story or film, some things, some emotional rhythm will be changed. Suppose if I say there is a dialogue from Shantium, Ek chutki sundari ko कीमत तुम क्या जाने Mahesh Babu. Yeah? This is the emotion that has expressed is really different if we convert or transcribe. Yeah? But throughout this digital age make it wider. Currently we have Netflix, we have YouTube, that makes it wider. In previous time, Kapil Sharma was only in Sony TV. But it's in worldwide Netflix, 199 countries seeing. So it's not limited. I refuse that. It's making more wider and more cross-cultural. That's the time that technology is coming and making the stories democratized.
Okay.
So we are not limited locally. We can share our cultures. That's why saying that stories travel beyond the borders. Stories, films, cinema, literature doesn't have any passport or visa.
Yes.
So when you don't have passport or visa, it means you can travel any world. So it's not limited. So it's quite wide. Thank you.
Well, that answers that.
That was very well said. I hope your question was answered.
Yes.
And with that, we'll wrap this session up. Thank you so much for that lovely discussion. I had a very good time. I hope you can say the same.
Thank you so much. Well, we are from different backgrounds. We are computer science from, but what we make us to come here, we are so much, especially I'm so much in the cinema and literature interested. I'm a fan of cinema and literature. So that's why I just want to share my perspectives. And thank you so much for hearing us and have a good day. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the speakers and moderator for such an insightful session. We love to see how global unites when it comes to literature and cinema, where words and imaginations are the medium.
Now we would like to call upon stage Miss Fiona and Mr. Nagin Prajapati to felicitate our speakers with mementos.
Saifulla Rahimi from Afghanistan.